The pressure is great. The rewards enormous. It's Ajax against Feyenoord for the 200th time. Ajax in the big picture, in charge, having won 94 of the previous 199. Feyenoord just the 59 victories. And we'll see which of the two sides take the points and the bragging rights this afternoon. Large chunk of the stadium unoccupied because Ajax were penalised for fireworks and flares that landed on the pitch in the last home game 2 weeks ago. There's no sign of any of that just yet. Feyenoord in the away strip. Newcope recalled to the side today after a couple of games out. Trying to combine with the Feyenoord captain, Haj Musa. Is one of those who could light up this fixture. Wellenreuter. When Feyenoord had gone an awful long time without winning in Amsterdam, and between 2005 and 2023 they weren't able to do that. He pulled off an extraordinary save, and the scoreline was 2-2. And Channel Gertruida scored a winning goal for Feyenoord shortly afterwards to put an end to that long run. So it's true that Feyenoord have only won 2 out of the last 22 at the Johan Cruyff Arena, but they've also won 2 of the last 3. Grock trying to find stir in the midfield. The 17-year-old not just starting the Klassieker for the first time, but starting in the Eredivisie for the first time. What a time to do it. What a responsibility on that young man's shoulders. 17 years of age, straight into the deep end today. Whistle for the first time. Blown by Serdar Gozubiuk in midfield for an Ajax free kick. Itakura has been playing a lot in the number 6 role for Ajax the last few weeks, but the injury to Baas has forced yet another reshuffle for Fred Grim. And Gea has moved back into that troublesome position. Handball against Leo Sauer, who's the teenage member of the Feyenoord contingent. His first Klassieker today, though he's a player of greater experience than both Stur and Bouwman at the back for Ajax. Bouwman, just a 4th league game in Ajax colours at the age of 18, so it's a huge deal for him too. Fine piece of control from Dolberg and a free kick. Foul against Watanabe. No doubting the finishing quality of Kasper Dolberg, but there's certainly got to be a question mark about his fitness. An hour last weekend, an hour in Europe in midweek, and he's coming back from injury. How long is he going to last today? Jarosz with the ball forward to Hotz, who took it down well this time. Game really after 4 minutes has not settled into any kind of pattern. Here's Owen Wijndal. Stur. Won't mind if he gets that kind of time on the ball all afternoon. Itakura. Ajax with numbers on the right-hand side. So important for Feyenoord that Small came up with the ball, and he did. And a touch for Bouwman. Targaline trying to put the pressure on for Feyenoord in midfield. Both Robin van Persie and Fred Grim, his opposite number today, played 8 times in this fixture. Fred Grim's final Klassieker was Van Persie's first a 1-1 draw here at the Arena in March of 2002. Interim charge of Ajax, but how long that period lasts, nobody's really sure. Ajax are going to hire a new technical director before they hire a new head coach. It could be next summer before they make those appointments, and certainly the latter. So Grim is here until the winter break. He might even be here until the end of the season. Win here today, and might relax those who are itching to make new appointments in the Ajax hierarchy. Newcope to Haj Musa. Ajax pressure's good. Hots. Oscar Glock, maybe a shooting chance for him. And the first save of the afternoon made by Wellenreuter for Feyenoord. The atmosphere changed when Ajax won the ball high up the field. The first promising moment for the home team, followed by one perhaps for Feyenoord. There's Valente, who's going to be the man they'll look to try and unlock this Ajax defence. Ueda in such sharp goal-scoring form, the obvious threat. But Newcope getting forward there. It's the first big Feyenoord chance. And big opportunity it certainly was. Look at Newcope's run off Mika Hots. It's a terrific run. It's a well-timed pass by Valente. And the header only misses the top corner by a small amount. Chances at both ends in a hurry. This was the Ajax moment from a different angle. Oscar Glock unable to get good purchase on the strike. But if Valente is the man most likely to unpick the Ajax defence, then the responsibility of creativity for Ajax certainly falls to the Israeli Glock. Feeling is that he's produced some fine moments already in the famous red and white. There's much more to come from him. Ueda on the shoulder for the first time. And the effort is only just wide by Leo Sauer. And you can hear how the atmosphere changes. Almost silence as Feyenoord produce another threatening attack. Certainly Ueda was onside. Sauer's effort further away than it looked at first glance. Well dealt with by Lucas Rosa at the back for Ajax. Another playing in his first Klassieker this afternoon. Won by Quinton Timber for Feyenoord. Couldn't quite find Valente as he got to his feet. Both sides seeking to make it uncomfortable for the defenders on show. Both sides intent to a large degree on trying to pass out and pass through the lines. Who will press more effectively today? It's Akura. Well, they're asking him practically to keep advancing, so he's happy to oblige. Glock into the space for Lucas Rosa, and Dolberg couldn't quite get there before Ahmed Hodzic. Longer than expected jaunt forward for Ko Itakura. Nobody's used to having that kind of time on the ball in the Klassiker. Wijndal's got time on it as well, they're not closing him down. Ahmed Hodzic just got there in time. Feyenoord uncharacteristically slow to get the challenge in a fixture that's renowned for its passion. Ajax allowed space and time on the ball. Any team will hurt you if you allow them that. Foul by Timber on Gloch, and a painful one. Probably as well for Feyenoord, they did bring him down, because had he turned there, away from that small cluster of 3 Feyenoord players, and there are going to be possibilities for the home side. Now, Quinten Timber is going to talk himself into a yellow card here. He's simply not obeying the referee. How hard do you have to kick the ball away to get a yellow card? Lucas Rosa, Dolberg in the middle. Hots coming in. But Newcope was there. It's warming up, this. Stur, the 17-year-old. He had a total of 20 minutes in the Eredivisie before today, Sean Stur. Gloch. Hots making the run inside. Not sure Haj Musa had really tracked that. Elected not to try and play the pass. Stur, he might give it a go. Dolberg. Stur again. Time on the ball. Oscar Gloch. Klaassen, he'll have a go. It's score! Davy Klaassen for Ajax in the Klassiker. Feyenoord refused to close them down. Time on the ball, space to take a moment and take a swing. And Davy Klaassen still good enough to punish Feyenoord, and certainly inclined to do so. They wouldn't get close. Gloch could wander forward. There was space for Klaassen. Nobody got near him. It's the opposite of what Feyenoord and their fans would expect. Wellenreuter got fingertips to it, but it was hit too well. And Davy Klaassen in his 18th Klassiker has never been on the losing side when he started the game. And he's got a whack in the head for his troubles. That was Lucas Rosa who caused that blood on the side of Klaassen's head. Usually in this fixture, it's the opponent who will do that to you. Today for Klaassen, it's his teammate in the celebration. 1-0 Ajax, and it's Klaassen, the man they call in these parts Mr. 1-0. He's done it again. The first goal in so many games in Ajax colours. Haj Musa with the ball in. Klaassen not on the field, so Ajax paying for their overzealous celebrations. They're down to 10 men as Klaassen gets that cut repaired. The crazy things that happen in the Klassiker sometimes. Down to 10 men because your teammate headbutted you in the celebrations. Back at full strength. Well, that actually looked like quite a nasty cut. Not that too many of the Ajax faithful are thinking about that right now. They're just looking at the scoreboard. Complete failure on Feyenoord's part to get close enough to the ball carrier. Basics, really. Robin van Persie, you have to feel that he's steaming at the way the goal was conceded. Valente with the corner for Feyenoord. What's happened there? It's Ahmed Hodzic who's involved. Wijndal, who's getting little sympathy from the referee. Any reason to hold his face? He's certainly not displaying the kind of scars that David Klaassen was a few minutes ago. No nonsense refereeing from Sardar Guzubiuk, who's taken charge of over 300 games in the top flight. Fourth time he's taken charge of the Klassiker. Ahmed Hodzic trying to get away from Wijndal. Newcope was up. Marcus Rosa got it away, Klaassen a bit further. Confirmation, the goal came in the 13th minute from Davy Klaassen. Captain leading the way for Ajax today. And for all those who doubt Klaassen's ability, and there are certainly those amongst the Ajax faithful, he's 32 years of age now. If you give him that kind of time on the edge of the penalty box, he's good enough to punish you. Ueda, Newcope, nicely worked, Ueda, and that was Klaassen who was in the way. That was a vital challenge for Ajax from the captain. He's making a difference at both ends of the field here. Got some sharp interplay from Feyenoord. They've had an early chance through Newcope. They've certainly got players who can hurt Ajax. And we've seen it's vice versa. That's a fine ball from Haj Musa. It's a little too far in front of Leo Sauer. It's the 31st time he scored the first goal in a league game, and I think the first that he's had his eye opened up by a teammate in the celebration. Well, he can tell the story differently tomorrow. If Ajax win the game, you should have seen the other bloke and all the rest of it. Nicely played by Hotz. Chance for Baumann to step forward. The 18-year-old pointing the way for his more experienced teammates. Nicely played by Baumann, finds Gloch, who in turn looks for Dolberg. It's a little too much on the pass. Feyenoord not really having any joy in stopping Ajax from passing the ball clear at the moment. There's Valente. This is an excellent first season for Feyenoord. He's got himself into the Netherlands international team. They played him in a qualifying match, just to make sure that there won't be any overtures from Italy in the future. He played representative football for the Azzurri in the age group levels. Dolberg was offside. The worry for Ajax will be that they have conceded a lot of shots and shots on target of late, even in the games they won against Groningen and Fortuna Sittard, the last 2 rounds in the Eredivisie. Their opponents have had more attempts, more expected goals than Ajax have. Better chances, in other words. Felt like a game in which both sides would score today. It's yet to be borne out, and we'll see how many Ajax and Feyenoord are able to muster between them in due course. Ajax with the lead, though, through Davy Klaassen. And Newcope this time making a successful challenge. Valente, Ueda trying to pull away to his right. Valente went on! Hit it cleanly, but just too high. Hots caught in possession from Newcope, who reached and took a risk with the challenge. Certainly got a piece of his opponent, but enough of the ball to satisfy the referee. And from that moment on, it was a promising position for Feyenoord and for Valente. Ajax 4-2 winners in Europe in the Champions League on Wednesday. Feyenoord beaten 4-3 in the Europa League on Thursday. Both have got the minutes from continental travels in their legs. Ajax in Azerbaijan, Feyenoord in Romania. Both showing their good and bad sides in those fixtures. Glock with a super turn, Dolberg. It's opened up to his right, but he went himself. And in the end, having missed the target, you could argue it was the wrong decision. But for a striker of his quality, it was still a presentable opportunity. He had time, closed down a fraction, got it through the legs of Watanabe, but not on target. Though Wallenreuter was certainly concerned. And frankly, Van Persie will be on the sidelines as well. But the way his team were left exposed once again. They've scored in every league match this season, Feyenoord, but they have not kept a clean sheet in any of the last 10 games in all competitions, conceding 22 goals in that time. Osama Targalin on the ball for Feyenoord. Valente couldn't quite find Timber, seeing plenty of the ball, Luciano Valente, in the opening quarter of the match. Targalin has lost it. Hots now, with Stur trying to get up alongside him, the 17-year-old. He's in! Sean Stur! Off the line. What a moment that might have been for the teenager. Hots for Klaassen. There's no flag. It's not an easy way out for Feyenoord either. Now maybe for Small. Leo Sauer. How speedily can Feyenoord get amongst Ajax? Well, not speedily or accurately enough. Big chance for Sean Stur. And I don't know if he knew he was playing on the morning of the match, but I'm sure he had the dream last night that he might make a significant difference in the Klassiker. 17-year-old who's been with Ajax since the age of 8. Not that long ago, really. Big opening to make it 2-0 to the home side. spending more time in possession of the ball at the moment, and Ajax looking far more dangerous on the counter. Newcope with a run. Watanabe electing not to play the pass. But they're going to have to spread the play to move these blocks of Ajax defenders to one side, or they can try and go straight through the middle, where space is limited. And Ueda and Timber couldn't make the difference. Fine pass by Stur, the 17-year-old starting to feel at home in the Klassieker. And if you can handle this day, you can handle most in the Dutch footballing calendar. Played in the Champions League in midweek. That would have been a big step in the right direction. And he's making further strides today. Haj Musa a little flashy in front of his own goal. Feyenoord need to demonstrate some of that famed Rotterdam industry right now. The tricks maybe can wait for a moment when they've really got themselves into this game. They need to get closer to Ajax. Valente. No passing lane open down the middle, but here's Haj Musa, isolated against Wijndal for the first time. And Haj Musa straight into the arms of Jaros. Well, he's such an exciting talent, Haj Musa. We'll come back to him. Hots saw and heard the run of Stur. Challenge by Ahmed Hodzic was a vital one. It just put off the young man at the crucial second. Effectively a back five for Ajax in defence, with Gea stepping in alongside. Well, that's a foul though. Ueda on the turn away from Baumann, who picks up a yellow card. And back four or back five, no matter. Feyenoord were through it there. And Haj Musa's making the case here to the referee that he'd beaten Baumann and he was through on goal. And this may well be checked by VAR. It's a very clear foul. If that's deemed a goal-scoring opportunity, well, Paul van Boekel, a very experienced VAR, the most experienced in that role, will be checking. Yellow card to Baumann, the 18-year-old. And it seems like just a yellow card. There doesn't appear to be any message coming through to referee Gözübük. One of those where it's so close to goal. Can anybody in Feyenoord colours get this over the wall and down and into the goal in time? Practically 7 in the Ajax wall there. Timber, hard into the wall. Targalin. De Gea, it's a great relief. They didn't have the subtlety from the free kick required, Feyenoord, and they haven't had the subtlety yet to unpick the Ajax backline. Though Ueda certainly served notice there, peeling onto Baumann and winning that dangerous free kick. Here he is again, same opponent. He was expecting Timber to be a little closer. Newcope. Feyenoord setting up camp in the Ajax half for the time being. A goal from Klaassen in the 13th minute. Newcope hadn't gone where Timber was expecting. And Newcope either apologising or just suggesting that he'd felt something. I think he did, you know. Right side of the groin area. Spent a couple of games on the sideline with injury, Newcope. Haj Musa, that's a better ball in. Ueda and Timber, and not quite. But he's shown himself to be excellent in the air, Ayase Ueda, repeatedly this season. And this is where Newcope's problem is going to have to be dealt with. He pulled up immediately there. We could sense that something was wrong. Jordan Lotomba is on the bench for Feyenoord, the Swiss international. You'd expect it would be a like-for-like change. Timber didn't have a great deal of room to pirouette and find the angle. It's never the kind of game you want to leave early, of course, but it is the kind of game that puts your mind and body under such stress that injuries are more likely to be a factor. Tough for Newcope. He's had to cope with all kinds of physical difficulties. He's facing another spell on the sidelines. That might be it for the year for him. Lotomba, wearing 30, is on. His flick has come for Sean Sturr here. He drove with the ball impressively. Dolberg drove into a blind alley. Oh, that's a lot of nonsense. 2 yellow cards. Haj Musa got one, I think Wijndal got one. Wijndal was trying to delay the restart. And Haj Musa, I think, got the yellow card for trying to kick the ball and finding his opponent was in the way. And the referee, I think, just said it was all theatre. And they both deserved the yellow card. Yeah, I mean, he knew he wasn't playing the ball, was he? He could see where the ball was, and he played the man to try and get the man into trouble. I like the attitude that the referee is bringing to today's game. He's saying to the players quite clearly, it's not going to be won or lost by that kind of dark arts. Yellow cards that might prove costly for those who have collected them, though. Bouwman and Wijndal, 2 members of the Ajax back 4. Haj Musa on a caution. Referee making it very clear that his patience is not to be tested any further. Bouwman got easily away from Leo Sauer. Valente's working very hard to make sure that Ajax don't get completely clear. Dolberg couldn't hold on. Haj Musa, Lotomba's gone on beyond him. Lotomba well placed. And he wins a Feyenoord corner. The run tracked by Sturr. Age 17 and fully aware of his defensive responsibilities. 35 minutes that he can be proud of. Big day for Japan in the Classica today. 3 players involved from that country. Aaron Baumann, though, with a clearing header. And Hotz up against Tagalin, who did really well there. That was serious pressure. And he showed his strength of body and mind there to keep Hotz away from the ball. And there was no inkling, no suggestion of a foul either from the Moroccan. He's heading off to the Africa Cup of Nations very shortly. Valente trying to unpick the defence, take the shortest route to goal. But it's very congested centrally. It's going to be a tough job for Feyenoord to get through there. Once they've got it into Ueda, who turned Baumann, got the yellow card and the free kick. Timber, Haj Musa. And they do leave themselves exposed to the counter when it does break down, Feyenoord. Hotz away from Haj Musa, who can't challenge him. He's on a yellow card. Dolberg. Glock through the centre. Arriving is Lucas Rosa, who will hit it. And Wellenreuter will save. Not for the first time by any means. Ajax menacing on the counter-attack. Feyenoord leaving themselves exposed at the back. Here's Oscar Glock once again. Dolberg, was he onside? Maybe only just. Stir. Found a gap, beautiful pass. Glock will get it back. Oscar Glock for 2. And then Klaassen again. And somehow it's with Wellenreuter. Chaos in the Feyenoord defence. Stir spotting a gap and having the courage to drive into it. And Davy Klaassen is fractionally offside. And that is the decision, and would have been the decision whatever happened in that melee. Very nicely played from Mika Hotz, though, in setting this previous counter up, which ended in the chance for Lucas Rosa, who's never scored for Ajax. It's no better day than today to open your account. Feyenoord have had more of the ball, it feels to me, but Ajax have had more of the chances in this game so far. It's not that much more of the ball that Feyenoord have had. But Ajax chances through Glock early on. Klaassen's goal, of course, Stir off the line. Lucas Rosa on that counter-attack. With a new Cope header early on. Timber's pirouette and the effort just wide from an awkward angle. Wijndal. Can Ajax add to their lead before half-time? Dolberg, good footwork. He's got time again. No one's closing him down. Where have we heard that before? Wellenreuter needs his defenders to get closer to the man with the ball. It was sharp from Dolberg, but Ahmed Hodzic did not have any support and did not stop the shot. Dolberg was close to that. My, his shirt was halfway up his back. High Small was the defender. Wijndal. Stir. Every time he looks up, there's a space. He drives into it. Hots didn't make the most of it, though he was a long way from goal. And the excitement maybe just getting too much for him. Well, Feyenoord look very vulnerable defensively. As Ajax, in the absence of the suspended Yuri Bas we were talking about beforehand, that might be most troubled by an absentee. Feyenoord are missing the injured Sem Stein, missing Javairo Reed, their young right-back, who's got so much promise. Jakob Moder's out long-term. Balin and Trauner, two centre-backs missing. Good slide by Baumann to clear his lines. Ajax also have Berghaus and Schüttler and Taylor on the sidelines. Taylor watching on today. Weghorst out injured until the end of the year. To feel they need to move it more quickly from one side of the field to the other, Feyenoord. Ahmedhodzic to Timber. Space for Timber. And now Valente. And Ajax closed him down well. Small. Time to cross here for Small. Plenty of time to claim for Vítězslav Jaroš in the Ajax goal. No question that Small, Feyenoord's left back, can deliver a telling ball in from that side. He's done it time and time again. Wijndal somewhat boxed in. Did well to escape the box. I think he wanted more help from Sean Sturr there. But Ajax on the balance of chances, a good value for this lead in the Klassieker as we approach half-time. It's all very static for Feyenoord. There'll be a couple of minutes to add on at the end of the half. Ahmedhodzic through, and Timber finding Hadj Musa. And Hadj Musa's cross, a good one. And over the top by Ahmedhodzic, who was forward from centre-half for Feyenoord. He played his part in the initial build-up and kept his run going. Might be that Leo Sauer behind him was better placed, although Baumann would have had a word or two to say about that. You can hardly blame a 6'5" defender for trying to have his influence on proceedings. But those have been the kind of chances that Feyenoord have created so far. That seemed to come off the arm of Watanabe. Referee's waiting for an advantage. Watanabe's blaming Ajax for the fact he came into the ball so unbalanced. Referee goes a Björk, didn't see it that way. Well, a second goal here for the home side might be a telling blow. Blocked with a free kick. Not a good one. Valente. Small. Valente. Valente's ball. Timber is there, but more pertinently so is Jaroš. And what's he spotted here on the counter? Well done by Ahmedhodzic. Fred Grimm thought it had gone out of play. Into the 2 minutes of added on time. Davy Klaassen's goal in the 13th minute, dividing the teams. Can be a player who drifts in and out of games, but comes up in Ajax colours with big moments, Davy Klaassen. 5 times an Eredivisie champion. Although it's been a while since Ajax had their hands on silverware of any kind. Not that they'll worry too much about that tonight if the scoreline stays the same. It's all very side to side from Feyenoord. Valente trying to unpick the lock. Timber, Targelin, Sauer. It was awkward, it got a deflection, well defended by Baumann. An Ajax hand in the ball in the last few seconds, quickly taken by Feyenoord, who I think realise they're running out of time in this first half. Haj Musa. It's out of play, and I think they're out of time at the end of this first half. It's a season that has not gone Ajax's way in the main, but it's a first half against their biggest rivals that most certainly has. Davy Klaassen's goal in the 13th minute, and he wasn't closed down, and he struck it very sweet and very true, and was taken out by one of his teammates right there for his troubles. Half-time score, Ajax 1, Feyenoord 0. Ajax with little to worry about. The scoreline as it is, leading by a goal to 0 against their great rivals from Rotterdam. Feyenoord need to up their game over the course of the next 45 minutes, or they will be heading to another defeat. Oscar Gloch finding some space. Mika Hotz with more. Sean Sturr pointing to it. On they come. It wouldn't come for Gloch. From Wijndal's ball, here's Rahea. Ajax on the front foot immediately at the start of the second half. Klaassen with a goal in the 13th minute that divides the sides. Neither team has made a change at half-time, but the benches, surely in this game, will be of vital importance. Who can make a difference in the second period? Dolberg came close to scoring in the first half. Here's Hotz, the young Belgian. Dolberg waiting close to goal, comes to Sturr, the 17-year-old, and it'll come here to Yuri Rahea. And the deflection took it wide, denying him his moment. Valente, one of those who tried to get out to Rahea, got his toe to the ball there and then got his legs to the ball there too. Yeah, he deserves the pats on the back there, Luciano Valente. He's the man they're looking to for creativity, but you can't neglect the other side of the game, and he certainly didn't there. Block with the Ajax corner. Already a goal to the good. Takura came closing in, but illegally so. Takura and Targelin. Wasn't much in that, was there? One of those that maybe referee Kazubia saw out of the corner of his eye. Sauer and Small keeping it alive just about for Feyenoord, and Ueda's touch for Sauer. Not quite of the high enough quality. That's Cruz, technical director, outgoing, was at the back of that particular shot. And they got rid of John Heitinger earlier this season. Kroos said he would leave, offered his resignation at the same time. That resignation has been wasn't accepted in the moment. Too much uncertainty was the call from the board, but he will go in time, and when Ajax do find his replacement, then they will find the new head coach. Grimm in charge today on an interim basis, but maybe for months rather than weeks. And if Ajax win today, they won't mind so much. Stuur's had an excellent game so far. Again, starting his first top-flight league match today, only with 20 minutes experience in the Eredivisie before this Klassieker. No Kenneth Taylor. Taylor, who played such a key part in Ajax winning both these matches, home and away for Ajax last season. Player who's pretty much always been there over the last 3 seasons. Ueda, he's in behind. Is this his moment? No! The leading marksman in the league with the clearest chance yet for Feyenoord, and he couldn't take it. For the second time today, he's got the better of Baumann. The first time, Baumann brought him down and took a yellow card. The second time, they were that close to an equaliser. It's the best chance of the game so far. Hots to Wijndal. Just got caught as he back-heeled the pass to his fullback there. Hobbling away, the Belgian, to the right of picture. Lucas Rosa. And very well played by Valente. First Klassieker for him today. Luciano Valente, 22-year-old. Feyenoord paid good money to Groningen for in the off-season, short of 7 million euros, but he already looks a player who one day is going to go for far more than that. Foul by Small, I think. Have generally been better and stronger in those man-on-man, one-on-one duels, it feels today. There's one back for Feyenoord through Small. Valente got caught there. There was a real clash of leg on leg. Both players down painfully. Sauer played on. It will come to Small here. And now Targalin, Haj Musa. Yeah, the referee had to stop it. Rajea and Valente both in a lot of discomfort. Might well have been a knee-on-knee collision. As he turned, yeah, there it is. It's a real sore one for both men, and you can only hope it's just the impact and there's no lingering damage for either of them beyond that. It's Valente's pass. It's a terrific pass, isn't it? Because Baumann has to really stretch. He got there, but effectively teed up Ueda for a shot on goal. He's settled so quickly. He's become such a vital part of Feyenoord's attack. He knows, I think, he can't do without him. When he took him off in Europe during the week, they fell apart, and a 3-2 lead became a 4-3 defeat. So he's vital off the ball as well as he is on it, Luciano Valente. We've seen that with the blocks he put in at the other end a short time ago. Yeah, neither man meant anything malicious by this, an attempted tackle that just brought about an unfortunate collision, nothing more. It looks like both are going to be okay. Kenneth Taylor, who would have been so pleased to be a part of the Ajax midfield. Yuri Bas to his left as we look. Suspended today, Bas. Sent off last weekend. As Ajax won away to Fortuna Sittard. Smile from the restart. Sauer. Valente looks to be okay. He's picked out Targalin. Lotomba. Timber. Itakura's come all the way out of the defence to that position. Lotomba, Timber, in, Ueda. Brilliant from Baumann. What a block that was. The 18-year-old showing his worth. Keeping out the league's leading scorer, because that was well worked by Feyenoord. Timber involved there. Timber trying to up his level, get them moving it more swiftly. So often it was static in the first half from Feyenoord. Ahmed Hodzic for them. Beaten home and away by Ajax last season. Ajax who looked like they were going to use those points to claim back the league title, didn't in the end. And PSV have gone on to be the dominant force at the start of this league season. PSV won't mind if Ajax win here, they'll have a 9-point advantage. Haj Musa, Feyenoord, second in the table as things stand. Timber, Lotomba, Wijndal. Well played, Gijsmaal. Feyenoord's left back getting over to play a part in a central area. Is that something that Robin van Persie's asked him to get involved with? Valente and Sauer were a little isolated out on that left flank and couldn't work anything between them. Watanabe in to Targalin. I think they've got to get it to Haj Musa and give him a chance of showing his incredible talent. Instead, Lotomba and Ueda let it go, and Sauer was not expecting him to do so. How many strikers, how many number 9s in that position are as unselfish as that? It was a little behind him, but could he have adjusted here to strike it? I think he could. Don't think Van Persie would have been allowing that underneath his right foot. He would have been striking it to goal. Ueda trying to time his run here. He's gone round the back. And Small against the side netting. That was awfully close. Fell just where he'd want it, really, on his preferred left foot, and he hit it really well. Fractionally wide by Gijsmaal. And no goalkeeper was stopping that one. Just a sign, another sign, that Feyenoord are coming on stronger in this second half. Screams from the bench for Leo Sauer to take this ball from Lucas Rosa, urging him to put a greater degree of pressure on the Brazilian. Targalin has turned away from Glock and has found Timber. Timber to Haj Musa with a lot to do from that position. Latomba rather getting in the way. Itakura with the clearance. Tough spell this for Ajax, as hard as they've had to endure this afternoon. Spell that you feel Feyenoord need to make pay. Watanabe ran into trouble. Glock hasn't got support for the time being. Targaline did really well. That was tigerish from Targaline. Foul on Latomba. It's more about Feyenoord. There's a greater desire, put simply, in this second half. Valente again, Small, the left fullback, making the run infield, and that's his ball towards Sauer. Just a throw. It's a response he'd have wanted Robin van Persie in this second half. And that's not going to be the decision that his team were asking for. This is Valente. His minutes have been managed by Robin van Persie over the last couple of weeks. It's the reason he didn't last the 90 in the European game. It wasn't that they were resting him for today, although effectively they were. It's that he's had trouble getting through the 90s, just carrying little problems into the games. Those problems added to today by that collision. And I think the effects of that are still reverberating through the left knee of Luciano Valente. They need him. They really need him. Hwang is back on the bench for Feyenoord today, by the way. He's come back after injury, the South Korean international. But he's more of a grafter than a creator in the midfield. Apart from that, it's some young talent. Gonzalo Borges, a wide man. We'll see him, I should think, at some stage. Kyle Larin, the Canadian international, forwards on the bench, but he got more brickbats than bouquets after his appearance off the bench on Thursday night. There's nobody on the bench that can do what Valente can do for Feyenoord, that's for sure. And with the winter break approaching, one more league match after this and cup games in the week for the Dutch teams. I think it's a question of getting out of Valente what they can in the here and now. Glock, that was a super turn. And again, Targaline was quickly into him and sharply away from the pressure of Dolberg as well. They don't convince in this situation though, Feyenoord, they really don't. Have Ajax overcome that difficult period where Feyenoord were setting up camp? Oscar Glock, Yuri Rehea. Bauman's block on Ueda looks a big moment as things stand. Wijndal has got time to deliver here, and he does! And just over the top from Glock. Ajax's best moment by far of the second half. Glock moves across the box into the near post area, and he should score, I think, from there. He's got time to see the cross coming. He's got a large chunk of the goal to aim at, and doesn't make Wellenreuter make the save. Well, no Feyenoord fan watching this change is going to be enjoying the outcome. Valente can't continue and it will be Hwang who comes on for him. Hwang, who hasn't played since the Volendam game at the start of November, so more than a month out of action, getting on for 6 weeks for the Korean. Dreadful luck for Valente. The Ajax fans will not be sorry to see Valente go. They know what a talent he is. Feyenoord's hopes in this game go with him. It's going to place the attacking emphasis for Feyenoord on Quinton Timber in the midfield for sure. Here is Timber on the ball, and able to pick out his captain, Haj Musa. Jordan Boss has also come on for Feyenoord to replace Haismal. The Australian there, bottom right, takes his place on the field in the Klassiker for the first time. Here's Klaassen, still the scorer of the only goal to date. It's never had the feel of a 1-0 game, this, but who knows how it's going to turn out. Sounds like Klaassen's going to be coming off shortly. Fitzjim's going to replace him. Anton Guy, you can also see down there. In all likelihood, you'd think he'd be on for Lucas Rosa. Bit of extra pace down the right-hand side. That's Wijndal who's coming off. May well be that they're signalling Rosa over across to that side. Wijndal is on a yellow card, remember, from the little altercation with Haj Musa. A player of such potential are in Wijndal. He looked like he was set to achieve it a few seasons ago. He's had various setbacks along the way, but a step in the right direction for him today. Hayer's going to take the captaincy by the looks of things. Well, his 18th Klassiker today, and the 31st time in the Eredivisie that he's scored the opening goal. The first time in any of those appearances against Feyenoord. Going to leave it to his teammates to preserve that unbeaten record. When he started a Klassiker, Ajax have never lost, Klaassen. He's done his bit today. Can the less experienced team that he now leaves complete the job? Well worked by Ajax all the way through here to Oscar Glock. Keeper goes back, Glock goes on, appealing for a penalty, which he will not receive. Not at first glance, at least, from Serdar Gözübük. And he's hearing, you can see, in the earpiece, no penalty from Paul van Boekel, who's already looked at it in the replay centre. let off for Feyenoord. Superb passage of play from Ajax, who ripped through Feyenoord with all speed there. Sauer decided to come back onto the right foot. Boss to Hwang. Didn't get hold of it. Watanabe might. Left his foot in a little high there. I think the referee was going to penalise him. But on we go. Targalin had opened up for a second. Haj Musa. Back to Quinton Timber, and the deflection will take it wide of goal. This was lightning fast from Ajax. Hots involved, Dolberg involved, and the pass through from Fitz-Jim, who'd just come on, to Oscar Gloch. Feyenoord corner, just a quarter of the game to go. Corner headed by Baumann, who's done a lot of good things at the back for Ajax this afternoon. An urgency about Feyenoord, as there has to be. They would have had ambitions not just of taking something from the game, but of winning it. Ambitions that presumably still remain. Boss. Timber. Lotomba. Haj Musa in field. Targalin. Ahmed Hodzic, everybody forward here for Feyenoord. Lotomba. Can they find Ueda with a telling cross? Targalin. Ajax so compact. Timber. Still Timber. And Itakura at the near post. Ajax is so compact in that central area. Maybe it will take an individual to drive through rather than pass between the lines. Stur is struggling here on the stretch. There's a bit of a twist of the right knee. He's feeling the left hamstring as well. Might be an uncomfortable ending to his afternoon. He'll get a rousing reception, Sean Stur. 17, starting a top-flight game for the first time. He was a real presence in the first half. Maybe less so after half-time. But he's done a sterling job trying to fill the shoes of Kenneth Taylor today. Haj Musa's ball in towards nobody in Feyenoord green. Jordan Boss just wouldn't come down for him quickly enough. Timber trying to get involved at every turn, as he has to, I think, for Feyenoord. Here's Stur. Well inside the last 20 minutes. It's these last periods of games in which Feyenoord actually have had trouble conceding goals repeatedly in the last 15 minutes. Here they've got to find one. Sauer. Baumann again. Stood up tall. Feyenoord have let a goal in. At least one in the last 15 minutes of each of the last 7 games they've played in all competitions. Here, they're pushing for an equaliser. They'll have to leave space in behind them. Really wasn't good enough from Hwang. Well, Oscar Glock is one of the two who's being replaced here for Ajax. Ryan Bunida replacing him. He's had his chances today, Glock. I reckon 3 of them at the latest. And he didn't get a shot away. Jordi Mocchio replacing Sean Sturr. He might have just leapt above Mocchio in the pecking order with his performances over the last 4 days. Fine effort for the 17-year-old Sturr on his full top-flight debut. Jordi Mocchio is a young man himself, though, with plenty of youth and athleticism to offer to this Ajax team. He's only 17 himself. Takura, the latest one to just feel a hamstring. Not ideal after your team has just made its second double change of the second half. Jim has won it. It's turning into an uncomfortable afternoon for Robin van Persie. It's been that way really since the 13th minute. Baumann did very well. He spotted the pass and made it quickly, and Ajax have got the free kick for the foul on Bunida by Ahmed Hodzic. Baumann may have got away with one in that first half when he got the yellow card for the foul on Ueda. Only time in this game he's really been beaten. But apart from that, he's done an awful lot right. Hwang on the burst, couldn't take it with him. Feyenoord still competing, but Fitz-Jim has won the ball for Ajax. Kian Fitz-Jim! If he'd scored there, that would have been the finest moment of his young career. But he could not convert, and the lead remains a slender one for Ajax. There's a nice pass. Here's Ueda. But Itakura, his international teammate, had the beating of him. Timber spotted the space. Boss, that's useful. Timber coming in. Mocchio got there. Haj Musa got there too. He was blocked by Rosa, Lucas Rosa. Haj Musa again. Lucas Rosa's getting tight to him. And Haj Musa's got the free kick. Musa's got to be careful. He's on a yellow card. Rosa, I'm sure, is fully aware of that. So are the fans behind. You can't afford to react and get sucked in. I'm sure, as a Feyenoord player on a day like today, you feel friendless. And that includes the referee. Being baited by the left back. He didn't quite take a big enough bite. Hwang will take for Feyenoord, and Jordi Mocchio will get it clear. Here's Jordan Boss. Away from one. That's useful. Itakura in the way. And then Rahea rather giving it away. Feyenoord corner. Here's the Fitz-Jim chance again. It opened up for him. He was well within his rights to go for goal. Maybe not the Ajax player that they wanted in that position. Feyenoord corner, it's another poor one from that side. Hotz is after this. The 200th Klassieker, coming down to the last 12 minutes with it all on the line. Watch Musa. Clearance by Rahea for Ajax. A little bit desperate, a little bit like the last 2 minutes. And there's far longer than that to play. Got to be chances for Ajax on the counter-attack in what remains. Timber still, Ueda's waiting. Timber went himself inexplicably from that angle. How was he going to score from there? Looked like a tap-in for Ueda. It's a terrific break from Timber. Didn't have the quality when it mattered. Easy enough for Jarosz. He's really had relatively little to do. Even Feyenoord's best 2 moments of this second half. Ueda put through on goal, Small hitting the side netting. Neither of them tested the keeper. Hotz might do so for Ajax here. Feyenoord with enough. Bodies in the way. Bunida finds the pass to Mika Hotz. Hotz for Ajax. This is really dangerous. Didn't quite find the corner. Could have sealed the points there for Ajax in the 200th Klassieker, but are a whisker away. Double change then for Feyenoord. It's the last throw of the dice. Ayman Sliti, Dutch under-21 international, is on. Kasper Tengstedt, the Dane, is also on for Feyenoord. And Donangelo Konadu, striker himself, young man, is coming on for Kasper Dolberg. It's another one of the team brigade for Ajax. They've brought on 17-year-old Mokio, a 19-year-old Bunida. Now on comes 19-year-old Konadu for the last 8 and a bit minutes. Large group of players out there for Ajax. They've got 4 teenagers on the field at the moment, when you'd really feel experience was what you needed, but that's not available to them in large part, and there's always the Ajax trust in what the academy creates and nurtures. Here's Mokio, what a touch that was. Fitz-Jim, Bunida's in space, we tried to play it back to Mokio, which may not have been the ball. All came from the technique of Mokio. Ajax trusting in that technique. and the expertly crafted young players that are going to have to get them over the line today. Timber, who was once one of those young players at the Ajax Academy, can't quite find the killer ball at the moment for Feyenoord. Given away rather cheaply by Bunida. That's Boss's ball in. There's nobody there in dark green for Feyenoord. Here's Hwang. There's still plenty of nerves around the arena, certainly amongst the paying spectators. Foul on Hots by Lotomba, says referee Gozubiuk. Ajax closing in on 4 consecutive victories. This would be 3 in the league and 1 in the Champions League. Fred Green started off his spell at interim charge with 3 defeats. Boss tried to draw the challenge, didn't quite come the way he was expecting. A shot from Watanabe was never troubling Miroslav Jarosz. There's industry from his team, but there's not the quality to break down his. Grimm's defensive setup has thwarted Feyenoord, and they've had chances on the counter-attack to kill the game, frankly. They haven't done so, and that's what makes these last 5 minutes so intriguing. Hwang in solidly for Feyenoord. Lotomba. Solidly in was Lucas Rosa for Ajax. Fine piece of play at a vital stage, just taking the sting out of it, allowing his team comfortable possession, allowing the clock to tick down a little further. Radu put the pressure on Watanabe, and with Bunida's help they've won it back. Mokio in the centre here for Ajax. 3 teenagers forward. Here's Fitzjim. 2 big chances have come and gone for Kian Fitzjim. They've turned to their academy products to try and seal the game, and they've not quite been able to do it. Tengstedt hasn't moved up alongside Ueda. He's in a deeper role. Watanabe for Feyenoord. Boss. Bunida trying to track back. Fitzjim doing well for Ajax. Hwang doing well for Feyenoord. He's trying to get up with the speed of the game. Hwang after time away. Tengstedt towards Ueda. Lotomba. Slitty. It wasn't a bad ball at all. And it will bring a corner for Feyenoord. 2.5 minutes remain. Hwang, Timber was calling for the ball inside, well spotted by Lucas Rosa. Haj Musa, Hwang, keeper stays at home, and the chance goes over from Ueda. and difficult to execute, the high bouncing ball. Men over at the back post here. Ueda saw it. It was Konadu who just got in his eye line. It's a vital piece of defending. He got close enough to make it difficult, but it was a chance for Ueda. The league's top scorer drawing a blank today. Is the 200th official edition of the Classica, going the way of 94 that have previously gone in favour of Ajax. Is there a last word to be spoken by somebody? Feyenoord are by no means overflowing with ideas here, even if they're not completely bereft. Haj Musa has not had a look in today. Timber keeps it alive for Feyenoord. Hwang ran straight into trouble. Hots hadn't picked up Latomba on his radar at all. Tiredness, that's playing its part. Here's Watanabe. Who's really going to drive Feyenoord to an equalising goal here? Looks like 6 more minutes are going to be signalled. There's still time here. Ajax won the last Classica in added time with Taylor. And that ball by Sliti was never going anywhere but into the gloves of Jarosz. There's the signal, 6 minutes to play. Feyenoord of late typically have been vulnerable in these latter stages of matches, rather than threatening. What have they got in the tank? Foul by Brunida, just jumped into his man. Nice ball by Tengstek. Sliti's in behind here. Super covering. Guy was one of 2 in Ajax colours who slid in to save the day. De Gea was the other. They weren't going to let Feyenoord past. Feyenoord have scored in every league game this season, drawing a blank in stoppage time. And Hwang find the mark this time. It's a better delivery. It's an Ajax head on the ball. Big moments for referees as well as for players, and most certainly for coaches. Boss. Hwang. Boss. Trying to work something a little more intricate. Trying to just change the angle. Manoeuvre this Ajax block out of place. Still 4 minutes of stoppage time to play. Hodzic was very close to getting meaningful contact on that. In again by Boss. Ueda. Can he find space? All he could do was bring down Rahea. He's put his body on the line for the Ajax cause today. And that man's not found a way through. Well, the seats are comfortable, but not comfortable enough for those who've played a part today. Ajax beaten 3 times in the league this season, beaten 5 times in the Champions League. But are they about to win the Clasica? Mocchio! Jordi Mocchio with the killer moment for Ajax! A teenage dream has come true. And the captain off the bench to join the celebrations. The teenagers have taken Ajax to glory in the Clasica. As yet another late goal goes in against Feyenoord. Jordi Mocchio seals the points in the Clasica. It's not an Ajax goal in the grand tradition by any means, but the finish will be enjoyed as much as any of the glorious team goals that Ajax have scored down the years. Mocchio's first goal of the season, but the finest moment of his young footballing life so far, and one of the finer moments of Fred Grim's more senior football experience. It's Ajax's day. There's no disputing that now. Nothing Quinton Timber or anybody in green can do about it. In by Watanabe. Nothing to be salvaged though for Feyenoord here. Not even an iota of pride, I don't think. He's won the day, Fred Grim. And Davy Klaasen's proud record is going to continue. Every Clasica he started, Ajax have taken something from. And they're getting all 3 today. Spells trouble this for Robin van Persie, I feel. A 4th league defeat coming. European campaign that's hit the skids. It's been pragmatic from Ajax and from Fred Grim, but it's done the job. And in the Clasica, that is all that has ever really mattered. No moral victories to be claimed here. The 200th Clasica goes the way of Ajax. Klaasen, the 32-year-old, Mocchio, a generation below at 17, both with goals to take the spoils for Amsterdam over Rotterdam. A 4th win in a row for Fred Grim, the interim boss, bringing pleasure back to the capital. And the teenagers, the 17-year-olds who've played their part, right at the heart of it. It's finished at the Johan Cruyff Arena. Ajax 2, Feyenoord 0.